ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, thank you. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Now, I'm from Cleveland. I'm talking about how y'all doing. Thank you very much. We got an exciting show. It's going to be off the chain. We got a special guest in the house. Man, I'm telling you, I got a chance to see him perform. And that's what the artist show is all about. We promote the creme of the creme. We don't want to just hear you say you sing, but we want to know that you're on your grind and that you made some headway. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And we got one of the baddest brothers here in Jacksonville, Florida that plays that guitar. Now, I play guitar, but when I met this brother, well, I don't play guitar. I don't know how to play guitar. I am just a studio guitar player. But this brother here is bad. He's going to do a little demonstration with us. And if I get mesmerized or get hypnotized by the movement of his fingers, please. Even the sign is held up. You got 2 minutes left and I keep it going. You know what's going down. So get ready for this awesome guest, this exclusive interview with Mr. Clay Benjamin. We'll be back after these messages. With my main man in the house, Mr. Clay Benjamin. What's up, man? Yeah, they screaming for you, boy. They screaming for you, but I heard about you, boy. They done heard about you. So how you doing, man?
Thank God, good. I'm doing good, man.
Man, I'm so glad. You know, I know we've been talking and we're talking on the phone and just shooting some ideas and everything about revolutionizing Jacksonville and the music scene, and there's so much talent here in Jacksonville. But you gotta tell, all right, check this out. Listen, you from Jacksonville originally?
Originally.
I remember you was telling me that you was raised up in Tennessee, though. Now, how did that happen? How did that happen?
Well, my father, who was also a guitar player.
Okay.
And, but my dad.
I figured that. That was gonna be my next question. Man, where you get them skills at, boy? Well, you get them skills, so I'm like, all right, let's start with the father now. Now, he must have been a bad joke.
Well, actually, he's still here and he's still good. He's been playing since he was a teenager.
Wow.
And he started off playing guitar with a gospel group back in the day here in Jacksonville. Well, actually, they were out of Gainesville, but they were called the Florida Swines.
Okay, all right.
And
I think I
so,
heard
you know, my dad does the quartet thing. He was with them for a while, and then he moved on to be with the Sunbeam Singers.
Okay.
This is back in the 70s now, and I'm kind of telling my age because I remember. But then he got with another group called the Mighty Golden Jubilees. They were very popular gospel group.
I remember that name too.
Yeah. John Hughes, Sam Baldwin. Wow. It was a great group.
Man.
And
so what did you do as a little kid? You know, so did you used to go to these shows at your?
Yep, I did. And also to mention, my dad played in church at church.
Okay.
He was a guitar player there. So I have vivid memory of him playing. And seeing him with the big afro and the sideburns, with that yellow Fender Mustang guitar. Playing out of that Fender Twin amp. Right. And it just fascinated me as a kid. And I can remember sitting in church. I actually remember this. I remember having on some white boots, a pair of shorts with a little bow tie and a little jacket, and I had my Uncle Jackie Johnson bought me this plastic toy guitar.
Okay.
And my dad.
Look at that!
I was only like maybe 5 or 6 years old, but I remember my dad was playing in church, and I was standing on the pew next to him with my little red guitar.
You was getting it.
I was just getting it, you know, and ever since then, I've just been fascinated with that instrument.
Wow.
So I give my dad thanks. You know.
Now, that was it because your dad was traveling a lot and the majority of the time he was performing in Tennessee? That's why you moved up there?
How that happened was my father was a manager at a company back in the day called Avco Financial Services.
Okay.
And what happened was he got promoted.
Okay.
And when he got promoted, we originally
time to get out of Jacksonville.
Yeah. He got promoted.
Make some more money, y'all.
Yeah. He got promoted in 1978 or 79. We moved from Jacksonville to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
And he got promoted to regional supervisor. We were in Charlotte for about 9 months, and then he got transferred to Memphis, Tennessee in 1980.
Wow.
So, and that's how I ended up there.
Yeah,
and as a matter of fact, my dad still lives in Memphis, and I got a brother who lives in Memphis too.
You ever been to the Elvis mansion and all that stuff?
Oh, man, I've seen it so many times. Well, you know what? All the years I lived in Memphis, I never been inside of it.
Okay.
But I passed by it all the time. You know, it's sitting there. So
yeah, I wanna make a trip in there and see the king, you know, bathroom where he fell.
Well, I hope you don't see him though.
He don't come out pictures on you or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, that he was one of my idols growing up, you know. And I found out about music kind of later on in life because we was, you know, I'm from Ohio, you know, and my father wouldn't expose us to R&B and stuff like that. It was always Christian music, you know. But when I first, you know, started recognizing, you know, I mean, we didn't even grow up in a church where they, you know how they, you know, you know what I'm saying? Everything was quiet. People scared to say amen. They say it real soft. Man,
they call that dead church.
I know that's right. But check this out though. So you had this guitar. And you was damn. I was kind of wondering how when your father looked back at you.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'll never forget this. My dad, when he would go to work, he would leave his guitar in a case on the floor in his hand, and I would always go and try to, you know, mess with it. My mom would peek around the corner. I remember this. She would say, "Boy, you better leave that alone. I'm gonna tell your daddy on you." So what?
You was messing with his stuff.
Yeah, I was messing with his stuff. At this time, I'm like maybe 6, 7 years old.
Right.
But I had in my mind, I can remember, I'm gonna play that guitar. So I remember there was a weekend. My father was home.
Yeah.
And we had this. I don't know if you remember these big old brown stereo.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, exactly.
You could pull a record player out
exactly.
of it. Yeah, the 8-track.
That's a smaller version of that, right?
Yeah. Y'all, he got one right there. but anyway, my dad was playing a Mighty Clouds of Joy 8-track tape.
I used to love
it. And he was practicing, and I'll never forget this. He called me over, and I came over to the seat where he was at, and he handed me the guitar.
Oh, what?
And he was, you know, taking my fingers and trying to place them on a chord.
Yeah.
And at first I couldn't do it.
Right.
So then he told my mom, he was like, "Oh, it's too early for him to learn that nice fingers." He did it, and he kind of went to walk off.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, and this is the truth, out of nowhere, I just started playing the guitar.
Wow.
And it blew his mind. I'll never forget my mom come running out of the kitchen, and he just came there, and he was looking at me like,
"Honey, did you hear the one? Did you hear the one?
So I just started playing, and then I'll never forget that. He did my hand like that.
Yeah.
He was like, "Now do that again." And I couldn't do it again.
Wow.
But I think at that point, God somehow was just showing him to, hey, have patience. He's going to play.
Man.
And I'll never forget that.
Wow.
Never forget that experience. And so my dad, from that time on, I remember around 8 or 9 years old, is when he really seriously started showing me stuff. So he would show me a few chords, and I would practice religiously. Practice.
I know you was breaking those tips in.
Yeah, I still got it.
Be like the karate folk, you know how to be getting to the ground, so you can poke somebody out. That's how hard, you know what I'm saying?
Man, I can climb a
You like Spider-Man. So, but when we get back, we're going to talk about some of the touring that you did. And I know that, I remember we was talking on the phone and you was talking that you had did some touring with Al Green. And
yes.
Man, you just was out there, God just been real blessed. So we'll be back after these messages right here with Mr. Clay Benjamin on the Artist Show. Don't go nowhere. We're back with Mr. Clay Benjamin in the house. I like the name, Clay Benjamin. You know, some names just don't match, you know, a star. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people get the name changed, you know, like Jamie Foxx and all of that stuff there. No, that's not his real name. You know, some people like Mariah Carey, you know, that's a stage name, Mariah Carey. You know what I'm saying? So, Mr. Benjamin, I mean, we were talking, you know, in depth in the past about your touring with Mr. Al Green.
Yeah, the Reverend, as he calls himself. Captain, baby.
You gotta tell me, how was it working with him? The first time, how did you get introduced to Al Green?
Well, this is how it happened. It was all a miracle.
Okay.
In 2006, I came out of the mortgage industry, banking, consumer finance, mortgage industry. That's what I did. That's my background.
Okay.
I was working for this company called Aegis Funding.
Okay.
And in 2006, I built a brand new home. And 2 weeks after we moved into this brand new home, I got laid off.
Oh, wow.
Everybody did. This is when the economy collapsed and the whole mortgage industry.
Everything was booming in the 90s. Everything was booming in the 90s and suddenly.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, you know, this was in 2006. So there was a guy by the name of Jimmy Epps.
Okay.
And another great guitar player that lived in this town. God rest his soul, he passed away.
Okay, sorry.
But anyway, he and I had done some work together before in the past, and I knew that Jimmy was the guitarist for Al Green.
Okay.
I had run into Jimmy some years prior to this in the airport. We were passing through and I saw him and he was like, man, I hadn't seen you in a long time. Good to see you. You know, we shook hands and gave him his card. I said, where you going? He said, man, I'm on my way to Washington. I got a show with Al Green. I was like, yeah, you must play that. So, okay, that was the end of that. So to move forward, when I got laid off, I wasn't concerned about it because I knew God was getting ready to do something because I had gotten laid off before.
Yeah.
So I was in the barber shop and I picked up a Jet magazine and I was looking through it and boom, there was a picture of Al Green on stage with his tuxedo on.
Yeah, exactly.
But right behind him was a picture of Jimmy Epps.
Right. There you go.
So now, mind you, I had not seen him since that time at the airport, which probably was like 6 or 7 years prior to this happening.
Okay.
So when I saw it, it prompted me, wow, man, Jimmy Epps. So I pulled out my wallet and I still had his card.
Okay.
So I called him up on the phone and we was just talking and he was like, man, it's good to hear from you, man. And make a long story short.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, at the end of the conversation, I told him, man, it was just good to talk to you. You know, I happened to see your picture in the Jet magazine.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, and by the way, Jimmy, if you know anybody out there that's looking for a guitar player, I'm available now, man. He got real quiet on the phone.
Yeah.
I was like, hello? Hello? And this is what he said. He said, dude, I don't believe what you just said. And I said, huh? He said, you're a godsend, you know that? I said, why do you say that? He said, because I'm looking for a guitar player for the Al Green Band.
Wow.
Al likes 2 guitar players. He said, I had to let go of my other guitars.
Right.
And he said, you know, I'm the MD.
Wow.
So, make a long story short, he was like, dude, what are you doing now? I said, well, I'm about to get a haircut. He said, can you meet me after your haircut? I said, yeah. After the haircut, I went and met him over at chicken coop.
Right.
I made him over there. We sat down. We had lunch. He was telling me about the gig, everything. He told me. He said, "I tell you what, go home, learn love and happiness, still in love."
Hey, love and happiness.
And I'm tired of being alone.
Okay.
So I did. And he told me, he said, "I'm gonna give you a call in a few days." I went learning. He called me up. He said, "Hey, what you doing?" I said, "Nothing, man. Just here at the house." He said, "What's your address?" I'm literally, this is exactly how it happened. He said, "What's your address?" Gave him my address. He said, "I'm gonna be over there in just a few minutes."
Wow.
He came over. And when he walked in the house, he said, "Okay, get your guitar." Got him a guitar. He pulled out his. He said, "Play Love and Happiness." You know, we went through each song we told him to play it together. After that, he said, "All right." He said, "Good job." He said, "Tell you what, I'm gonna get back in touch with you." 2 days later, I get a phone call. I was like, "Hello, Clay Benjamin. This is Jimmy Evans." I said, "Hey, Jimmy, welcome to the Al Green Band. You are the new rhythm guitarist." Yeah. I was like, "Are you kidding me, right?" He said, "Nope, I'm not kidding you." He said, "We got the first show coming up next month at the House of Blues in Chicago, Illinois."
Wow.
And that's how it happened. And I ended up touring with Al Green all over the world for 2 years.
Now, did Al Green originally plays guitar himself?
He does. He
Yeah.
plays it. That's why he loves guitar. He's got very big ears.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
hears everything you play.
Exactly.
He hears it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
He
yeah.
plays a little piano too.
Right.
But he's a musician first.
Yes.
And
yes.
when I be on stage and we're playing, you know, and I would do something,
Right,
and he'd
right.
turn around and look at me, and,
Hey.
you know. Many times I tell the sound guy, you know, turn. He called me Benjamin.
Right.
He said, "Turn Benjamin up in my
Right.
corner."
Exactly.
So he heard everything.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
Wow. So how long did you play for him?
All of 2006 and all of 2008.
Wow.
So and when I tell you, we toured all over the place. I mean,
Man.
London, Madrid, Spain, Ireland, Ireland, Mike, Scotland. I mean, all over the Caribbean, all over Canada, all over the United States. Yeah, and then everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah, it was an awesome experience.
Man,
Awesome.
man. Well, when we get back, we're gonna hear a little something. We're gonna hear a little something. He finna play a little something for us, man. And like I told you earlier, say if I get to be hypnotized or memorized, you know, and don't worry about it, you know, because you will be too. So we'll be back after these messages right here on the artist, Mr. Clay Benjamin.
Breaking news, she's my lady, my colorful lady.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ulysses SALETT, and I'm your host for this extraordinary show, The Artist Show, right here in Duval County. And this message goes out to everyone who is creative. I promote undiscovered talent, and I would love to interview you. It doesn't make a difference if you are a singer, dancer, promoter, whatever it is that can pay it forward for the next artist to go to that next level. We would love to hear from you. Please call 904-753-9478 or simply go to theartistshow.ent.com. I look forward to hearing from you real soon.
I'm in the club, just how I feel.
Well, guess what he got in his hand, y'all? It's going down right now. It's going down. Because I go back to Mr. Clay Benjamin, he's gonna do a little something for us. He's gonna tickle the axe. You know, they called it an axe back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But let's just check it out, Mr. Clay Benjamin. Do your thing. Do your thing.
My fingers hurt.
found out, after you found out that God had anointed your hands to do what it do, did you ever go to school, you know, any type of education on it? See what God can do, y'all.
Never.
See what God can do. You see what I'm saying?
I never.
When God put his hands on you, boy, it's over.
Yeah. And you know, I give all the glory and honor to God because it is a gift.
Yes.
And like you said, I did not go to school for guitar or music.
Yeah.
So you know, I don't know a whole lot of theory. Matter of fact, a lot of what I do, I don't even.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
You know, I know the difference between major chord, minor chords. I know the basics: you E, F, G, A, C, D, E, E major, E minors. You know, B minor. You know, I know all that. You know, but I play all of those chords like the A major 7 or the augmented, all that kind of. When you get in the
extended 9,
you know,
minus 3,
flat 7 or the 3, and then I don't know all that.
Now you got to play one of the algorithms. Do the
You gonna sing it?
I'm so in love with you. Whatever you want to do, it's alright with me. 'Cause you make me feel so brand new. Oh, baby. Since we've been together, I'm loving you forever. It's all I see. Let me be the one you come run to. Oh, baby, I'll let you know I'll always be. Don't you know, let's stay together, always, loving you ever, 'cause time is good, bad, happy or sad, let's stay together, loving you. Ladies and gentlemen, in the house. Now tell us, you got some things that we do in Jacksonville. I know you was performing. Is that a weekly thing or a monthly thing at Gojo's?
Yes, we're actually working with the owner, which is a good friend of mine, Alex Johnson.
Yes.
Alex Johnson over at Gojo.
What's up?
You guys check out Gojo Coffee Shop or Coffee House over on Wells.
The hottest
Road,
spot on 1975 Wells Road.
Exactly. So you can get good coffee, all kinds of coffees, different smoothies. They also serve food. So great sandwiches, wings, and
packed last night.
Oh man, it was packed.
I wouldn't have probably been able to move like I was moving others.
You wouldn't have been able to scoop in there.
So that's why I got to be there way ahead of time when you set up these cameras, man. It's off the
So
chain.
what we're doing, Alex's vision was to have a really nice spot. He thought, Starbucks, why can't I have a coffee shop?
Exactly.
But his idea was to have a nice place with cool vibe where grown folks could come out on a nice evening. Grown folks could come out on an
Y'all folks can come out, but you gotta behave yourself.
But you gotta
ain't about no rapping.
Yeah, it's grown folks.
Ain't no dirty side trap music or nothing like that.
Music. So,
it's grown.
So we're trying to have something where people, you work all week, and you just need to wind down, relax, and enjoy some
R&B,
entertainment.
stuff like Al Green,
soul. We do Marvin Gaye, Al Green, Prince, Michael Jackson, Commodores, Gap Band, Anita Baker, Etta James. You name. I mean, we do it all. We do it all.
Man, and you play? Do you play for other bands or whatever?
Yes. Actually, I have been playing some with the band Be Easy here in Jacksonville, Florida. My cousin Rick Benjamin actually is the bass player. And Rick, if you all don't know, Rick was fantastic.
No, he a bad man. If you a bad man on that guitar, boy, you a bad.
Well, he's my first cousin.
What, he got a 9-string bass?
He got he got a 30-string bass the way he played. But actually, Rick's father and my dad are brothers.
Oh, wow.
And Rick's daddy is also an incredible guitar player. His name is Robert Benjamin. But Rick toured with Fantasia for many years, and but he's the bassist in the band.
Fantasia.
So I play in that band, and I also play in another band called Diggin' Rhythm and Brass.
Okay.
And I've been in that band now since 2002, and that band is a show band. We do it all, you know. So we do all the weddings, the corporate events, but then also True Soul, which is my band. We do the same thing.
Wow.
We do the same thing. So, such as what you would see at Gojo, if you all come out, come out and support.
They'll be there.
They'll be there. So, but at Gojo, what we're trying to do is on Friday nights, Friday evenings. The first time we tried doing from 8 to 10, but some people kind of like to stay out a little late.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So we changed it now. We do from 9 p.m. until 11 p.m.
Okay.
And when I tell you all, we put on a show. We put on a show. And we had a great turnout last night. So many people are being very supportive of this event.
Now you got a CD, couple CDs out there, but your latest CD,
my latest CD is called Just For You. It is available on iTunes or any web-based music store if you'd like to download.
I need to support. I mean, get the CD for real. Get the CD.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's
on Amazon, iTunes, and all that. All you got to do is just put in Clay Benjamin. That's it.
My name.
I don't think there's another Clay Benjamin here, but put in Clay Benjamin Jacksonville just in case.
Yeah, the one that look like me.
Yeah, exactly.
There are Clay Benjamins out there, but
What advice do you have for young guitar players, young musicians, because you got the young ones coming up and everything like that? What advice do you have to give them in their quests for stardom as far as what they're doing? What is something that you live by?
And I'm glad you asked that question. Number one, first and foremost, you gotta put God first. I'm just saying, this is how I've been blessed. I put God first. Number two, I don't chase money. Not chasing money.
You gotta do it because you love
the Bible says, for the love of money is the root of all evil. And I don't want anything to do with evil. So, and then I would tell them this, practice. You gotta practice and keep a humble attitude and spirit. Don't be so, because I've seen them, man. There's some cocky, stuck up. I'm just calling it like it is. Stuck up, arrogant, snobbish, nasty attitude musicians out there. I've run into some.
I got this.
Yeah, and it's not about that at all. I'm not. Whenever I'm playing, if I like me and Solo Lion play together a lot with the band Be Easy. He's one of the guys that I can say that I enjoy playing guitar with this guy because he's very humble. Such as myself, I'm humble. I'm not trying to compete with anybody. You do what you do, and I do what I do. The
most important thing, enjoy it with others.
The most important thing is what are you saying musically?
Exactly.
How are you coloring your surrounding? How are you making your keyboard player sound good? It's not about me trying to sound. I'm trying to make everybody else in the music and what we're doing sound great. Okay. Then one other thing I would like to tell young musicians is so many cats are so hung up on chops. I gotta get them. I gotta get it right now. I'm not thinking about how
ranks.
Let me say this.
It's almost like the vocalist that does the same thing.
Yeah. Listen.
All over.
Yeah. Listen, that is not going to get you gigs.
Exactly.
How fast you play and the chops you play and how many licks you can play, that's not going to get you gigs. It's not going to get you sessions. What's going to get you work is when you can play rhythm and when you know how to place chords, chord placement, rhythm, pocket playing in the pocket. Exactly, dynamic. Nobody wants to be jamming with guitar player who's too loud
all the time.
Blow
everybody else.
And God's blessed me. I'm doing a lot of session work, and I gig all the time, and again, all glory goes to God.
Pay them tithes. You go pay them tithes. You know,
I'll pay the tithes.
Yeah, it is what it is.
So that's what I would tell young guys coming up. Young guys, but you got girls coming up playing too.
Man, and that looks so attractive. Especially when you got a bass player, female, and she just
know how to play it.
Seriously, man. Thank you so much for coming out, Mr. Clay. I'm like, seriously, I want you to take us out with something, and I want to let y'all guys know this is the Artist Show, so we are looking for people that are extraordinarily talented, humble, and willing to share with other people. Hey, give us a call at the Artist Show. Got the number right here on the screen. Go to the artist webpage, www.theartistshowent.com. Don't forget to pick up his CD. Hey, if you want some more questions about where he's going to be playing at next, I know because we getting ready to do some things too, you know what I'm saying? We finna blow it up. We finna do some things. But check this out. Hit us up next time, right here. Play us something on the way out there, buddy. Play us. Yeah. Ah, yeah.
She's a star. I like black, she like gold. She wears expensive clothes.